reminder that we love questions from the audience, so you can start commenting your questions now, or you can also add them as we go. I'll be right back on to welcome our guests to the show. Thanks for meeting us for coffee. Hello, everyone. Thank you so much for joining this afternoon. I almost said this morning because I'm usually live in the mornings, but this is a special edition episode to talk more about Manifest, which is going to be happening in, as Pam just told me, 60 days, officially 60 days now. So we're getting really close. Usually at the beginning of this show, as I run my Meet Me for Coffee podcast, I've been telling everyone about the show for the last almost year now, and letting you all know that there is a link in the comments of this show to register for Manifest. And if you use that link as a Meet Me for Coffee listener, you will save $200 on your registration. There are still some rooms available in the room block at the hotel, but those are filling up. Those are running out. And you're also just 60 days away. So we're running out of time to plan this thing. And so I want to go ahead and bring on my guest, Miss Pam Simon, today, because she is going to help you guys plan this thing. So thank you so much for being here today, Pam.
Thank you so much for having me.
Yes, absolutely. So Manifest is huge, which is amazing because it's not that old and it's been growing so quickly. But I feel like with such a large conference, people get a little intimidated and a little like overwhelmed with where to start. What do I not know about it that I need to know, and all of those things. And so I love this idea that you and I came up with a couple years ago to just say like, hey, let's talk about it for 20, 30 minutes and help people know what they're getting into, what they can expect, and what they have to look forward to with Manifest. So I would love if you could take a second to introduce yourself and then introduce Manifest and let us know more about it.
Of course. So I'm Pam Simon. I'm the conference chair and the EVP of programming for Manifest. Manifest it's going to be our 4th edition, and as Samantha mentioned, in 60 days. So Manifest is the largest global end-to-end supply chain event, and it's taking place February 10 to 12 at the Venetian in Las Vegas. We're a full ecosystem show, so we're attracting startups, investors, and industry leaders, including any company that is moving products around the world. So from CPG to fresh, pharma, e-commerce, automotive, ports, fleets, carriers, brokers, you name it. If you're part of that process of moving things around, you should be at Manifest. And as Sam mentioned, it is taking place at the Venetian. So we really encourage you to stay at our hotel. We have room blocks, and there'll be all sorts of different activities and activation and networking events that you won't want to miss out on.
So excited. I've been to the Venetian a couple times here lately for some conferences, and it's such an amazing venue to be hosting. So that's going to be a lot of fun. I want to know a little bit more. You kind of gave me a high level there about who attends Manifest, but I want to spend some time talking a little bit more specifically about who goes to Manifest. And so, like you said, we have I mean, everyone's there is kind of the answer, but I would love some examples of like the verticals, the industry verticals that some of these companies are in. And then who, like as far as titles or people from companies have found interest in going and have gotten ROI out of attending.
Of course. So we're expecting 6,000 executives from over 50 countries. It's global. And there will be 150 conference sessions. So we'll be covering all aspects of the supply chain, from automation and robotics to AI, nearshoring, maritime, intermodal, sustainability, planning and forecasting, and visibility, as well as cold chain. So we're covering a lot of different topics. When it comes to the who, from the investor side, investors of all sizes. This year, we had over 200 funds in attendance, and we're expecting even more. So from really early stage through your private equity, investment bank, family office. It's unique for investors because you're able to find companies that you're going to invest in, or even find investors for your own fund. So it's very productive. For startups, it's across the board. So we have companies of all shapes and sizes that are part of the process. There's hardware, there's software, there's robotics, there's drones. We're covering the gamut of it, from maritime through last mile and within the four walls. And then when it comes to shippers or anyone that's moving goods, it's vertically agnostic, so anyone across the industry that's moving things. And we're seeing a lot more of these companies like Pepsi and Unilever and New Balance bringing their full executive teams to be able to truly divide and conquer and not miss anything, because there's a lot that happens at Manifest, from the education to the networking to the full experience of being there.
Yeah. I have to say, I really appreciate some of the conferences in our space that do, like, they focus specifically on domestic middle mile, or they focus specifically on the final mile deliveries. And that's nice, but like, you're sending a certain person from your team who is in that space to go experience that network, take notes, meet vendors, come back. It's really cool that basically, like, if your company only attended one conference in a year, you could send almost everyone from your team related to supply chain. They're all going to have tracks that are specific to them. They're going to have business meetings happening. They're going to be able to do everything that they would want to do within their niche part of that industry or company that they're working within. So that's just so cool to me. Now, it's easy to get a little, like, maybe overwhelmed or lost with that. So you guys have done an excellent job of keeping this all organized. So there's multiple ways to find people, to connect with people, to meet. Can you kind of talk me through how you guys are keeping the focus on making sure people are actually having meaningful conversations too at Manifest?
Of course, we really strive to do everything possible to help our attendees succeed in really making those connections that can lead to business transformation. So our app goes live about a month before the show, and the technology is awesome. You can download it right away. You're able to start connecting with people, scheduling meetings in advance. So it makes it a lot easier once you're there. Additionally, all of our name badges actually have a tile on it, if you will. And when you meet with someone, you're able to just tap and connect, and it'll share all your information and remind you to follow up with each other, right? So, I mean, part of the process is meeting the right people and starting that conversation. And you do that at Manifest. And then the follow-up is on you to keep the conversation going.
Yeah. And then I think you mentioned that there are different, like, tracks or speaking sessions or maybe like breakouts specific to certain, like, topics, industry segments. So people will be able to obviously connect with, I'm assuming, like-minded people across those different topics.
Yeah, the first day of the show has a variety of symposiums. So maritime, sustainability, intermodal, and cold chain. Those are dedicated tracks. I do recommend for any of the subjects or topics that you're interested in, get to the room early and talk to the people in the room because they're all going to be there for the same reasons that you are. There are 150 sessions that are going to be taking place. So look at the agenda and figure out which are the ones that are most relevant to you and make sure you block those off. Additionally, our innovation stage, which is located in our expo, will feature 40 companies from around the world that will be launching new products, presenting, and even doing some live demonstrations. So it's important that you don't miss any of that too.
Very cool. So how did you guys determine topics? Like when I think that's something that's really important, obviously, for a conference to get right is making sure we're talking about things that are relevant to the people who are coming. And so I think you guys have, in just 4 years, you guys have been able to solicit a lot of feedback. You're keeping a very close pulse on what's going on in the market. What are the trends? What are people asking questions about? So how do you kind of determine what makes it into these tracks and what do people want to hear more about?
We are constantly talking to the industry. I have regular catch-ups with a variety of different companies and sizes of investors. So we're really listening to our audience. I'm asking people questions constantly about what are the areas that they're focusing on, what are their challenges, what are some of the things that maybe are hype and we shouldn't be focusing as much on, or the things that really aren't as important as they used to be. So we're constantly listening to people. We do an incredible amount of research. I read all of the white papers and reports that people share with me. And then, really look at where things overlap. So one of the areas that we're adding for next year and will be a bigger focus going forward is around cold chain. So that's a new addition to the show. And that's because we've heard it from the industry. And so you ask and we will deliver.
Yeah. Awesome. Well, if anyone there's an expo hall, which I love. It's huge. And there's always so many people and you can just get lost in there, talking to everyone and seeing what's out there. How has that been shaping up? Are you guys, if there's anyone listening who's we want to be involved, maybe we should have a presence. Are there still opportunities to have a presence? Are there still some spaces available within the expo hall? What is that looking like right now?
Of course. So for the expo hall, yes, we have 300 exhibitors on the expo floor, and it offers a variety of very unique opportunities to network and have fun with your peers. So we'll be keeping everybody hydrated well with coffee bars from Viho and Return Pro. Sugere will be covering the beer garden. Softion has rosé all day, and Uni with the mocktails. So there really is something for everybody. Yeah. Of course, a big favorite is the puppies. So you can snuggle with the puppies thanks to Caleres. You'll be able to practice your golf swing with UPS, and there'll be arcade games and a lot more fun adventures that we have lined up for you. We do have a few spots left. So if you are interested in becoming a sponsor, having a presence at the show or a booth, you can email Dan at connective.com or Leo at connective.com. And I know that they would be thrilled to help.
Yeah, those are easy names. I love the easy. You don't have to spell it. And Dan's fantastic. Leo's fantastic. So definitely make sure you guys reach out and just start asking questions, but don't wait too long because limited space. I would like to talk a little bit about show attendance strategy. So I'm kind of hoping we've given some people a good idea of who's going to be there, what type of companies are there, what different verticals you guys focus on. And so if someone's that sounds like it's probably a good fit for me, it's probably a good idea for me or someone from our company to be there. What are some things you've seen work before with people who, I know you talked to a lot of people who rave about the experience they had and how they were able to close deals or meet people or create partnerships and stuff coming out of Manifest. What do you think some of the things that they did, or what were the things they did right to result in such a positive experience?
So plan ahead. Definitely plan ahead. As soon as the app goes live, start fill in your information, start connecting with people and scheduling meetings. Being that Manifest is global, and if you are thinking of expanding into new markets, have some idea of the different regions that you're looking into, because then you'll be able to connect with those folks live in person and start those relationships before that expansion. So having local partners is hugely important. Most likely, if you're thinking of coming to Manifest, your friends are already going to be there, or your customers, or your investors, or your partners. So I always think it's helpful to connect with the people that you're working with that are going to be at Manifest, because getting that face-to-face time in person is extremely valuable. And being able to answer those questions that they have in person adds just that personal touch, which is an integral part of, gaining trust for a current or potential client. It's also good for, seeing what your competitors are doing and getting unfiltered feedback, because people really are open to having these conversations. So I would say come prepared, look at the agenda and determine, which content sessions you want to make sure you're going to. Talk to your friends in advance, and know your pitch, know your ask.
Yes.
Like have that down. Because you never know where you're going to meet someone and how that person could impact, your business, your life going forward.
Yeah, the sales consultant in me was immediately like, yes, please. Know your pitch, know what you're saying. Know your purpose. I'll add a little bit of thought there. Like, what is,
Yeah.
if you want to go, like what are your purposes? And I loved what you said about, like, if you want to expand into a new market. Well, uh, in any sense, if you're a brokerage and you know that you want to start implementing more progressive technologies in your operations at some point in 2025, have the conversations now. Like meet people in February, start the conversations, get the ball rolling. Because you're right, like you can accomplish a lot more in 30 minutes with someone in person than you can in like 30 emails back and forth, like Google Meet. That's always mind blowing to me.
It's
So
so much more productive. Yeah. In person is just way more productive.
I
Um,
think that most founders of businesses that have scaled well in our space in the last 5 to 10 years would all say, if I had to guess, that conference attendance was like a very critical part of their kind of that initial revenue strategy and go to market too, just because of how much you can accomplish in just a few days and how many conversations you can have.
the amount of people that are there and being on the floor, I can tell you, from this year, watching and hearing from attendees that have gone, walking around the floor, being able to see, touch, feel, interact with all these different technologies is super informative and helping these companies make the decisions, like their buying decisions. So there's a lot of business that gets done and closed on the floor, whether it's a new customer or a partner, or even, new applications that can be added to your tech stacks.
Yeah. I don't know if you guys have a way like to measure this or you ask or if you're able to share any examples, but do you guys see like deals happen, funding happen? Like what is the feedback after these shows?
A lot. I don't know how much I'm allowed to say publicly, but I have done. If you turn in, or if you go through my LinkedIn, or if you go on Manifest's video
Yeah.
library, I have done a number of interviews with CEOs and investors that have connected, and it's led to investment rounds from Manifest, as well as customers. So as an example, I think I actually did it recently with Codif and Million Dollar Baby. They met at Manifest this year, and now they're doing a full rollout together. And that's
Wow.
just one example. I mean, there's a lot of really exciting business that comes, and it's one of the more rewarding things, I think, for me, is really to see the real life impact of the connections that are made at Manifest that can really transform the way goods are moved around in a more sustainable and efficient way.
Yeah. Cody asked, is there a list of who is attending?
On the website, you can find a list of all the attendees. We don't share full details because we like to protect our attendees' privacy, but you can see the full list. And then once the app is live, you're able to connect with every person that will be attending.
So on the website, I think it's companies, right? You list all of the companies who are in attendance. And
Yeah,
then when the app goes live, it actually lists the
every,
people
yeah,
chosen to be a part of that networking and that experience. And then you get to see the people from the companies that are attending.
yes.
So, okay, I'm trying to think what else people might need to know. If anyone has any questions, please put them in the comments. Thank you for that one, Cody. Let us know. What about as far as like networking events. I know most conferences have something. So what is kind of the plan of attack for opportunities for people to not just attend sessions or go to the expo hall, but maybe even like outside of that? Are we putting together some amazing events again this year to get people together?
Of course. So we have our kickoff party night, which is huge. It was a blast this year. So that is very productive. You will be there for a while, and you will meet a lot of amazing people. There are a number of events that happen in and around Manifest. I mean, the amount of companies that are hosting dinners and happy hours and other. So we will. I don't know if it's up yet, but soon it will be up, and we will have a list of all the different third-party events that are taking place. So take a look at that and see which ones you want to go to. And then, of course, we always close out the show with our after party. And since I'm in Miami, I'm thrilled that we'll be having Flo Rida as our performance. So that's going to be a lot of fun.
Definitely a lot of fun. Everybody's looking forward to that. It's so genius too, because we make sure we have everyone there till the end of the last day because nobody wants to miss that before they leave. Well, I also wanted to let everyone know that the Meet Me for a Coffee podcast will be there. And so we are going to be on the expo floor at Manifest, and we are still taking some reservations for podcast guests to come on the show. So if someone from your company is attending and they want to, maybe for the first time or maybe their experience with podcasting, they want to come on a podcast and speak, I'd love to hear from you guys. So reach out to me and let me know, and we can get you slotted in. Pam makes it look super easy. And it is easy, but she's also amazing. So you guys can do it. We'll make sure that we coach you through it, and it's going to be a fun time. So there's actually a lot of other podcasters there too. It's really fun. There's a lot of like media coverage of this. There's a podcast stage. So it's really cool because I think that there's several podcasts that I listen to regularly that are going to be there having live shows. And so people get to watch some of their favorite, even like media outlets take place at Manifest, which is fun.
Yes, a lot of announcements get made at the show. So I can tell you at this year's show, we had 125 companies break news on site, whether that's launching new products, investment rounds, partnerships, acquisitions. So we do have media from all of the industry, as well as your NBCs and Forbes and CNNs and stuff. So it's really the gamut of, you find out what's happening currently, the trends to be at top of mind, and all the technology that'll help move things around.
Yeah. Well, Pam, if people are, I'm going to tell people a few things. If they're interested in attending and they have further questions, you can reach out to myself. You can reach out to Pam. You can reach out to honestly anyone from the Manifest Connective team. I'm sure they're happy to answer questions or get you connected with the right people. If you're still interested in sponsorships or exhibiting, reach out to Dan, reach out to Leo. If you're interested in speaking, the slots are full. There is a wait list. However, Pam is on top of it, and she is going to start planning Manifest 2026 like as soon as this one's done. So she also loves to hear from people who have great ideas for speaking in sessions. So you can also reach out to the team to start preparing for 2026. It's not too early. As crazy as that sounds. And Pam is on LinkedIn. So everyone, please go give her a follow there. She actually shares a lot of information leading up to Manifest. She's been doing that all year about different announcements and partnerships. And so it's actually a great source of information too to help with your pre-show attendance planning. Did I miss anything in there?
Go on manifestvegas.com and become an insider. Yes. Right. Then you're going to get updated right away whenever we have big announcements or kind of special things for our insiders. So definitely sign up. And for our newsletter, The Fest, which goes out weekly, it's a great compilation of all the things that you really need to know about what's going on in the industry. So sign up for that and follow us on LinkedIn as well. We're constantly posting and sharing news related to the industry from our speakers and just all around ways that we can help you improve your business.
Yeah, awesome. There is, again, a link to register in the comments. It will save you guys $200. You don't have to put a code in. You just click the link and follow to register. The discount's applied. If you guys register for Manifest, if you've already registered for Manifest, let me know. Send me a message, drop a comment. I'd love to start kind of figuring out who's going to be there. Maybe we can even do some like pre-show. I love to tag and comment and see who's going and just start that engagement early so people can start getting visibility on that, on who they might want to connect with at the show. So definitely don't be quiet about it. Don't be a stranger. Let us know you're going so we can all connect and say hi. But Pam, this was great. So helpful as always. Thank you so much for coming on and making the time to share with us. And I'm getting 60 days. So very excited. It's coming up.
Thank you so much for having me. Very excited to see you in Vegas. And for everyone listening, I look forward to seeing you at Manifest in Vegas, February 10 to 12.
Awesome. Thanks, guys.